Afternoon. Thank y'all for joining me again, for tuning back in uh, from the desk of a sinner. We back, part two of the depression and suicide talk. Um, uh, it's a great opportunity, not only for people that like myself. I've never really struggled with suicide. Everybody has been depressed, but I never struggled with suicide. But I know that depression is a gateway to suicide. Um, First off, I want to start again. My name is Brandon Trapp. Just an ordinary guy from Greensboro, North Carolina. But the topic we on today is a dear thing. It's a dear thing. I've known of people who've taken their lives way too prematurely. So this is a good topic that we on. Um, I was doing a little research, and a lot of my research, of course, is biblical. Some people fight the thoughts of it being fake or being passed down, and say that's all true. Um, but there's still great content in there that you can take things away from. Um, in the Bible, it's been recorded history. 7 people in the Bible has taken their lives. Um, so the common thread of someone from when depression becomes suicide, it's a very thin line. Um, I think the major thing, and I want to give a disclaimer. I'm no licensed physician or none of. I'm just a normal guy giving what I feel myself, me personally. But me personally, I believe that um, suicide is a loss of importance, or it's kind of like a you forget what's valuable and important to you. Um, they say, okay, a person has kids, has responsibilities. They know they have to work to provide for those kids and responsibility. Um, so, in losing focus of that, they would be okay with not working. Same thing as a person battling depression and suicide. Like they lose focus of how important and valuable their life is, or how important they are period, just for being here. You know, it don't take accolades to make you an important person. You can be important to somebody. You can mean the world to somebody and feel like you mean nothing to the world. So um, I think that's the first stages of acceptance of suicide, is that you just forget what's important. You forget what the reason that you're doing what you're doing, or the reason you're existing. You feel like nobody cares. Um, a common thread of that is you talk to people that struggle with suicide. It's like you feel like nobody cares. Like nobody calls and checks on me. Nobody calls and sees me. Nobody. So it's an internal reflection that can kind of spin out the wrong way, or it can spawn into the wrong thing. So just not losing focus of what's important. Uh, that is like the main driving force, and if a person believes good and evil, Satan and God, there are forces, whether you believe it or not. And I'm not here to convince anybody to believe anything that I believe, but um, most people would say there's something governing us. There's something's higher than us. A lot of people don't know how to put a name on it, put a tag to it. I choose to call it God and Jesus, and the evil force is Satan. A lot of people, everybody have their different beliefs, but um, whatever your belief is, you have to have a common ground in a place of peace. And without that, chaos will run rampant. Without a common ground and place of peace, if you can't level with somebody, you know that those feelings of nobody cares will sink in, and they won't just sink in. They'll take residence. They won't just move in like a hotel and leave in a couple of days. They'll take residence. They start setting up, moving in furniture. And you start feeling, why I feel like this all the time. You start questioning other people. You start, hey man, ever since I started talking to so and so, I've been feeling, you know, but your happiness is your responsibility. I had this feeling when I was younger that anybody I'm attached to, that I'm like, they should be happy. Like, I'm happy, and that's not the case. And I took it personal when the person wasn't happy. I'm like, man, I'm trying, just trying everything, that I knew to make them happy. But if a person's not happy within themselves, there's no way possible you can make them happy. I mean, it's almost, you got a better chance of getting a camel through the eye of a needle. You can't do it. You can't do it. So, um, yeah, I think I heard a person say that before. Like, you can't. It's impossible. It's impossible to make somebody else happy. So, since you're in charge of your own happiness, and if you go by the Christian Bible, happiness was never promised. So we've chasing something that he said he didn't ever say he was gonna give to us. He didn't tell us he was gonna give us happiness. He said he was gonna give us joy. So joy. Speaking of joy, and it ties into depression and suicide. But joy, happiness is emotion. Happiness is kind of like, you get mad. Can you stay mad forever? No, nobody can. Um, you get jealous. Can you be jealous forever? No, nobody can. You have moments you become jealous. And that's what makes it an emotion. But joy is a state of being. You can continuously be in joy. It's proven. You can Google it. Joy is a continuous state. Like, you can continuously be joyful. So we chasing something that wasn't promised to us. That can't be permanent. Rather chase something. You get one. But yeah, it's a slippery slope. And joy is a good thing that helps you fight off depression and suicide. Depression and suicide. Um, Out of some of the people I wrote down that in the Bible that committed suicide. I mean, we can name many people in our lives that we know suffered. You see the symptoms, the isolation, the just feeling of worthlessness, the sleeping all the time, it's just different triggers. And you see those, it'd be kind of bad that you wouldn't bring it to light. You wouldn't want to just do something about it. Make it less stressful for that person. Because if it was you, you would rather have somebody on your side and feel like you're not fighting alone, rather than saying, "Oh man, they're weak, man." No, because we all have things we suffer with. We all have things. Yours may be suicide, mine may be alcohol. But what makes it different? It's still something I'm suffering with that can ultimately cost me my life. So, but I was going down the list of some of the people that committed suicide in the Bible. Ahithophel, a lot of people don't know about him. You can find out about him in 2 Samuel, around the 17th verse. Uh, but he committed suicide because he gave advice on how to attack King David. He wanted to kill David and bring all the people back. He gave advice to what's the guy name? I forgot. I wrote it down. Absalom. He gave advice to Absalom, and Absalom um, basically didn't take his advice. The guy that he, somebody else came behind him like, hey man, that advice he gave you wasn't good. That went for right now. He didn't even say it wasn't good. He just like, for right now, it's not good for right now. So Ahithophel, he went home, got his house in order, and I correlate that to he cleaned it, made sure his family was okay, and he hung himself over people not following what he said. And I'm not saying that like that's a small thing, because people have committed suicide for things smaller than that. But had somebody been, he had constant dialogue with somebody, you think he would have done that? Or if he had a strong friend about it, man, look, we gonna talk this out. I'm gonna sit with you. We gonna, pray about this. Samson, we all know what Samson did. He pulled the house, pulled the building down on himself. That's still suicide. Still suicide. People look at it as his last heroic act, but it took his life. It took his life. you have Saul and Saul's armor bearer. Saul, he killed himself with a sword. His armor bearer saying Saul was dead. He died too. So that's for the people. Zimri, he burned the king's house and stayed in it and burned himself. And of course, Judas. We all know what Judas did. But these people, they Bible figures, and they feel weak themselves. They feel weak. Judas probably the most notable, the most notorious one. And the regret once he did what he did, that forced him to take his own life. But the reason I did a two-part to this, because I am very, very inclined and very, very concerned about anybody thinking or talking about suicide. One, because I know it's an act of something far outside of this realm of reality. Nobody wakes up in a natural mind, out of nowhere and just like, I want to kill myself. No. It's a constant, steady process. It's a slow grind. Stuff starts. It's just happening slowly. And by the time you look up, it's a mountain. The anthill done turned into a mountain. And by then it's too late, or it feels like it's too late for you to back off or get control of it. You just feel like you're helpless and you're out of control. There's no 100% proven method. Everybody is different. I say the first steps, if a person knows somebody is suffering from, like severe depression and suicidal thoughts, is the national, it was the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. I believe that number is, I wrote it down. It's 1-800-273-8255. I'm gonna put it down in the comments too. But it's important that we know that we are important. You are valuable. You breathing, you walking, even when life gets so chaotic, like when it gets to the point where we're like, I can't take no more. But that same person, if you're a believer, I can only speak from that standpoint because I've never been nothing but a believer ever since I can remember. So it make me kind of, biased in my approach. But I can have a conversation with anybody, believer or non-believer. It's just when I'm administering advice, it's more inclusive to someone who believes there's something beyond us. Not saying you gotta believe 100% of what I believe, but my advice is almost every time going to be something like that, because I know it helps me and helped me throughout my entire life. But if someone's suffering, it's our duty, not as just say Christians, but it's our duty as humans to check on that person. If you know a person, you ain't seen them at work in 4 days, a known person with depression, it'd be good to check on them. It don't hurt you to do that. You would want somebody to do it for you. You really would. Nobody is that antisocial that if they're near death, they don't want someone to check on them. That's insane, I think. But this is what I wanted to make this personal. That's why I made the tone of these two videos is serious. It's serious. Yeah. We're getting more light things down the road on from the deaths of a sinner, but I wanted to start it by addressing that. You're valuable. If you're one of the people that's watching now, you're valuable. You are. You're valuable. Regardless of somebody tell you, you're valuable. You are. You have gifts that the world needs, and you ultimately in your life that's depriving not only yourself and your loved ones and the ones that's attached to you, but you're robbing the world too. Because who says my son or my daughters won't need won't need some advice from you that I can't reach them with? Who says? It's you never know how it works. You never know how it works. So I treat everyone as value. Nobody is too low for me. Nobody is too high for me. I'll sit and talk to a person who's less fortunate for hours the same way I would talk to Bill Gates or somebody. There's no, that's a lot from background and raising. You know better than nobody. You know better than nobody. So knowing that, you always should have time to talk to somebody. You always should have time to be conscious of somebody else other than yourself. Because if we all it's just like the old saying, like a person had their hand open, put some money in their hand, they close their hand tight. Okay, yeah, they secure that money. Say it's $100. They secure that money, but yeah, nothing can come out like that. Nobody can get it, but you can't give them no more neither. So if you that person, like you get something, you get some information. Hey, my life is good, and you close your fist. What help are you? What help you get to a certain social class? Like you just elite now. You forget that you were down there. That was you. That was you at one point walking. That was you at one point looking for a job and couldn't find one. It was you too. How do you forget it? How do you forget it? It was you at one time depressed, not knowing how you was gonna pay your bills. It was you. How easy we forget in our weakest moments. Those should sting in our mind. Like, hey, that was me. Hey man, hey, I've been there. That should be our approach. That should be our approach. I want this channel to be a lifeline. I do. I want it to be a lifeline. I want people, regardless of what they're suffering with, a person come on here non-judgmental. Even though you're gonna have the trolls in the comments, and those people are those people. But for the people that come here for a reason, I want it to be a place of restoration. I want it, uh, I just I got a heart for people. I always have. I always have. I got a big heart for people, and situations in life can make you numb to people. I've been close, very close to that point. As people loving as I am, I've been in that place. I've been to that point. Um, but I don't. I'm not gonna beat the situation to death. Um, but it's a tight it's a tight it's a tight niche. A person suffering should be checked on. It should be checked on. They don't cost you nothing. Check on them. Hey man, not using my mind. How's everything going? You know, and don't just go off with just hey, everything's good. Keep engaging that person, because if they still do it, one thing they can never say is nobody checked on me or nobody cared. We show love. We show love. I think the world need to get back to that. Show love. Show it. So that's about my wrap up on depression and suicide. Recapping. If you're suffering, if you're the person suffering, try to reach out to somebody. Try to. And if that's impossible, the people that's around you, if you notice this person with these characteristics and these they move in a certain way now, consider the hotline. Consider the hotline. Consider, engaging them more. Consider checking on them, because the reward is, you get a person off a cliff. It's a person about to jump off a cliff, and it's a person that's trying to get them to not jump off the cliff. Who you think would be more joyous that the person didn't jump off the cliff? The person, you get to rejoice with that person. It's a life saved. I mean, you're not saving his life, but he chose not to jump because of things you helped him with or said to him. See what I'm saying? Well, I thank you guys for tuning in. This is the first episode of from the desk of a sinner. We have more content. I have some content. We're gonna be touching on real stuff, real current events as well, stuff that's going on. Um, and it may step on some toes. And then I'm here to say from the get go, that's not my intentions, but I'm gonna always give you how I feel. I'm not gonna halfway say something to appease a certain crowd. No, I'm gonna always give you how I feel. That's what you can guarantee. I'm gonna give you how I feel on that. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in. God bless y'all. Love y'all. DGD.